whether Parliament has an obligation upon conclusion of the public participation exercise to provide detailed reasons for accepting or rejecting views, and whether failure to give reasons vitiates the legislative process and invalidates the legislation passed. Honourable Chief Justice, just want to make the following submissions. One, in the judgment of the Court of Appeal, when this issue was considered by the Court of Appeal, the issue turned on whether Article 10(2) of the Constitution on transparency and accountability was violated in the enactment of the Finance Act. What you'll find in that judgment of the Court of Appeal, in those 20 or 30 paragraphs were considered by the Court of Appeal, in coming to its determination, the Court of Appeal did not consider the evidence tendered by the National Assembly through the clerk and the Speaker of the National Assembly on what was the outcome of the public participation. Because had it done that, because if you read the judgment of the Court of Appeal, nowhere do they refer, so they said they had read the whole record, they do not make reference to the report of the Committee on Finance and National Planning on what the outcome of the public participation was. Now, when you retire and go and consider, you'll find the following. 1,080 memoranda was submitted to the National Assembly. 300, there were 300 representations that were made, and there were emails that were presented to the recommendations and submissions that were made to Parliament. Out of all this 1,080, the report, which is a very detailed report, and you find it in the National Assembly's record in volume 64B, volume 65B, and volume 66B, at pages 9522 to 9779, you'll find that the committee considered all the memoranda, item by item, and the first one, which is it's incidental, I think it was by coincidence, was by Anjarwala and Company Advocates, a firm of advocates. All the suggestions that they made were considered item by item, and this went all the way on these 3 volumes. And they considered all the and some of the proposals made by the public were accepted, some were rejected, and they did not do it wholesome. They went item by item. So you find the same proposal is made by more than 10 of the members of the public or institutions that and stakeholders that are presented before the National Assembly. Nowhere does the National Assembly dismiss any suggestion by saying we have already considered this. They considered each item individually, and some had 20 recommendations, some had 2, some had 3. Even the emails that have been sent to the National Assembly with one proposition that please get rid of this Finance Act, they were answered, and Parliament said, we have received your email, we'll pass it to the committee for consideration. The Court of Appeal was under duty to consider how many of these proposals were considered and how many were rejected, in making that sweeping determination that there was failure to account or to be transparent, because that is not true. Out of all these recommendations, 97% were dealt with in the report.